Hi there. Welcome to Tuesday Talk. So tonight is going to be a little bit of a continuation of last week. We talked about molds last week, and I found some more molds. I was looking for this one, and I found it. And it's roses. I just love it. I love anything floral. If you hopped on, let me know you're here. Say hi. Hope you're doing well. Here's another pretty one. This is Autumn Flowers, I think it's called. And here's one that I've never even opened until tonight. And I think this is going to make some really neat jewelry. But it's designed to put on a knob for a dresser or something. So I think that one's pretty cool. And I also got one from Wish. And it's a little earring mold. And I was playing with that earlier this week, and we're going to play with them a little bit more tonight too. So I used the 2-part epoxy. So that's what that is, the Amazing Casting Resin. We used that last week, and that's what I used for the earring molds. So these ones, they actually forgot to put the little hole in it for the piercing, but I'm thinking I could still do a large jump ring through there and still make earrings out of them. And then there's all these little shapes. So these are kind of like a little diamond. And you see they have the holes in them. And then these ones, I sort of messed up the pour a little bit, but I don't really think it'll matter. Those ones are sort of like discs. And there's 2 more here that I painted because we're going to have a little fun with them. And there's like another smaller square. So, okay. Other things we're going to do tonight. So I love florals, and I got a new phone, and I even put a little theme on the phone. So my theme is, my other phone had one too, but it's roses and a black background. So when I got my phone, they fixed me up with this gel case, which is kind of plain. So I'm going to make it kind of fancy by using some molds. Now that rose mold that I showed you, I already poured 2 molds, and I'm going to paint these tonight and glue these on to my case. So I will go ahead and start that so that dries. I'm going to actually mix a couple colors together. So I'm mixing flamingo. So I don't have any pink here, but I have some flamingo and I also have some honky tonk red. So I think the 2 of those might make a nice pink for me. So I have a quote for you tonight because I think it's kind of a neat one that I read earlier today. Anyone can love a rose, but it takes a lot to love a leaf. It's ordinary to love the beautiful, but it's beautiful to love the ordinary. So I thought that was kind of cool. Definitely something to ponder. I still love my roses. And I love the rose leaves too, so. Getting a little paint out here. Okay, so I have flamingo and I have honky tonk red, and just mixing that together, and I'm right, it's kind of making like a cool like lipstick pink kind of color. So I'm happy with that. Not mixing it all together yet because I'll go over most of that, and some of the red that I have around the edges I'll come back in with. So I'm just gonna paint it up in the air here. So this is going to be real short and sweet, real easy to do. And I'm painting it first so that it dries. And then I can show you a couple other things that I'm going to work on tonight. But I'm not going to keep you real long tonight. You know, a lot of people were staying off social media today, and I did too on my La Vintage Decor social media pages, but I did think that it was kind of good to come on tonight and talk with y'all. I think sometimes we need a break from everything. Also, this being June, it's my birthday month. So I'm challenging myself to go do a video every day this month. Might not be a live video, might be an edited video, but basically I just kind of want to focus on mind, body, and spirit. Um, so I'm just going to be trying to make myself a little bit better this month. Okay, so I'm trying to put a little bit of red in there too. Kind of deeper towards the center. It's turning out good. So I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to get some kudzu. And I have some tree frog green. So I'll put a couple colors of green on there. I'm working on a table, or excuse me, a dresser, which will be my Saturday video. I got a $20 dresser from Facebook Marketplace, and it's really turning out nice. I knew that it had some cool detail, and I was really hoping to get it. And when I messaged her, she said it was pending pickup. And she said, if anything happens, I'll let you know. And she messaged me and said it was available. Well, it was a real fun trip. And I do mean that. We laughed a lot, but sometimes we have a convertible, and sometimes we use it like a pickup truck. So we went to, it's outside of State College. So it's about a 45-minute drive from here, and it was certainly a beautiful day. And we picked this dresser up and put it in the back of the car. So that was fun because it was kind of a chilly day, even though it was beautiful, and had heat on and the windows up on the way back because the dresser was acting like an airfoil and just circulating that chilly air right back in. So it was a fun trip though. Okay. So lots of things are starting to open up here this week. Restaurants, and so we're going green. Speaking of green, so I did this leaf in kudzu, and now I'm just adding a little tree frog green. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do to that. I'm just going to let that sit and dry. Okay, on to the next thing. So tonight I'm using some E6000 glue because I want it to dry quickly. But here's another thing you can do besides phone cases. It's, light switch covers. So when you decorate a room, and there's so many different light switch covers out there, but you can definitely do something custom. So I'm going to put a couple molds on here that I did. I think I even showed you guys these last week, but I'm going to put those on here first, and then I'm going to paint it. I was going to bring the hot glue gun so that it would dry real quickly, but this dries pretty fast. E6000 is amazing stuff. I use it for outdoor projects, and it's practically indestructible. And it's definitely something you might want to have good ventilation for because it's kind of stinky. So be cautious about that. I never try to breathe too much of it in at once. Try to make it a quick project. Okay, so I have the 2 leaves on there. And I'm just going to wipe away some of this excess glue. And I'm going to let this dry. So one thing I'm painting before I'm gluing, and the other thing I'm gluing before I'm painting. So either way, now we're waiting for glue to dry, and we're waiting for paint to dry. So story of my life. Okay, so this is like shifting around. So I'm going to try to just get this excess paint or glue up here. And hold it flat to do it. I used enough glue, I think. Okay, and I'm just going to paint over the rest. Okay. So while we're waiting for that to dry, let's revisit these earrings. So I brought some transfers home with me. And this is redesigned with Prima. And I can't think of what the name of this one is. But it's kind of got some like Navajo designs. Bohemian. It's really a cool one. And then this one I've used before. This also is redesigned with Prima, and they come in these canisters. But this one is the Gypsy one, and it has butterflies. So not that it's going to matter on these earrings, but because you're not going to see that much pattern. But I decided that it might be cool to use the transfers on the earrings. So first I thought, well, I'll try them on the plain earring before I paint them. So I did, but it still sort of looks like a plastic earring, like the plastic bracelet we had last week that we wanted to get rid of. So that's why I painted the other 2 earrings, because I think it's definitely going to be kind of a cooler look to do that. So this was really random, and actually I could add to this without painting it because the transfer took to it pretty well. It's really weird to put on a surface that's uneven, but it actually took to it. And I wasn't surprised about that because I've put it on mirrors and stuff before, and it really takes to smooth surfaces. It also takes well to paint, to chalk paint. So I'm going to move my rose out of the way, get these earrings here. And so I want to find something that's sort of like a border. I might cut that big transfer up, but this one had some areas that were like a border. So there are some down at the bottom. All right, let's go wild and take the leopard print or cheetah print. Or I guess that's a leopard. And my cat's here. So I'm just cutting this out. Cheetah? I can't think. I'll have to watch Tiger King and get my education. So if you're here for the first time, I'd love it if you said hello. Hello, Colleen. And also hope you subscribe to my channel too if you're here for the first time. Okay, so I'm going to put the screen down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And I hope you can. And I'm going to take this transfer. I think I have the right side up on both of them. And I guess what I'll do is just cut it apart. And you just take the paper backing off. Okay, and then just lay it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna use, they all come with this little stick, and I'm just gonna use that and rub the transfer on. I painted the earrings in vintage duck egg blue. So I can't really tell whether it's adhering or not yet. We'll find out. Usually it gets a little lighter underneath there. Let's see here if I can peel it and see what's happening. Okay, it needs a little more, but it's coming. I can see, whether you can see how it gets like lighter there. Okay, I think we have this side. And just need this side to come, and it's coming. I can see the bubble in there. So you basically get like an air bubble in there when the transfer is separating from the sheet, is what happens. So I'm looking to start retailing. Okay, that's good. This is good. I'm going to take these edges and just wrap them around. Okay, and then actually just going to put, I'm going to take my scissors and put a little cut in here. Do the same thing. Just kind of poke it through and wrap it around. Because we want something on the back side, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So here's what the back looks like. Oh, you can see that. When I have the screen tilted down, it's hard for me to see. But that's the front side. I think that's cute. Okay, and then we'll find out, because I'll try selling these babies and see. We'll see if anybody thinks they're cute. Okay. So we'll do the other one here. I don't usually wear animal prints, but I kind of like this. I have in the past. I just haven't in a long, long time. Okay. I can see this side is transferring pretty well. I also see that I peeled off some paint off, which I'm not surprised. I just did it a few minutes ago before I got on. So I can always touch that up. Some more paint where that came from. Although it's kind of scarce because of the quarantine. Everybody was crafting, and of course now with COVID, and also FedEx is kind of avoiding large cities at the moment, I guess. So the shipments are just going slow. So we'll get there. Prayer, and we'll get there. So again, I'm just folding those edges under, and I'm just gonna cut a little bit just to kind of break that up and push it through. Really doesn't matter on the back. It just shows some pattern, but that's okay. So I have to touch up the paint on there, but I think these turned out kind of cute. So there's another one to do. So we'll pick something different. I'm actually going to take a little design from here. Let me see. I'm going to put this back up a second. Okay. Let me see. Since I did the other one still in blue, I think maybe I'll just take some of this. I hate to take a big chunk of this in case I can use it for an actual furniture piece, but I'm just gonna cut some off here. I'm gonna go for it. So this is what I cut. I think that'll look good on blue. All right. So I don't have any of your jewelry tonight, sister. Oh, but look, I wore this tonight. I don't know whether you noticed that or not. Okay. I think these are going to be cute too. Okay, so you can see part of it's clear. I'm just going to put this across here. I'm going to put the screen down again so you can watch the transfer. Okay. Whoops. Not much to hold on to here. And again, I'm rubbing paint off, but that can be touched up. This one's transferring pretty quickly, I see. Let's see what it looks like. Get a little bit more of that on there. There we go. That's the middle. Okay, it didn't all transfer, but you know what I can do is put this back down here. Just kind of go over it again. I'm trying to find that spot. And a little bit more of it will come off. So I got a little bit more of it. Let me try this outside of this diamond. Okay, I got some more. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, so many things nowadays are distressed. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I do that the same way, same direction. I kind of like these. I think these are going to be cute. I could have cut these transfers a little bit wider, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. So I don't know whether you guys got to see any of the other videos, but did you see the settee video, the little mini photo shoot that we did this week? I just love the way that settee turned out. It was just kind of fun and wild, and a lot of people like the color, the evergreen color on that tufting. It looked really elegant. But the chair or the seat itself was really a hot mess. So that's why the moss came into play, and then the other greenery just kind of put it all together. So, you know, sometimes these things just evolve. Okay, so I'm putting this on here and adding a little bit more where it was a little short on the end. I'm cooking up another photo shoot here soon, but this one will probably be a bigger one, but just have to finish one of the pieces for it. Okay, so I'm just kind of burnishing that down. I love these ones. I think they're really cute. So Okay, well, I'm gonna come back up here a second. Okay, you've been noticing. I think you like the bracelet. I think you want it back. Okay, so I'll touch up the paint on these again, but I love these. I may have to keep those ones. Okay, I'm leaving the lid off my paint here. I'll tell you what. Let's get back because I still see a little bit of shininess on the rose, so it's not quite dry. So I am gonna. This glue kind of took hold pretty quickly, so I am gonna go ahead and use kudzu on this one and give it a little coat of paint. So I have my. This really isn't a good brush. I think I kind of grabbed the wrong one. There we go. That's a little better. I have my at-home supplies and I have my ones at the store, and now they're starting to be integrated since our stores opened back up again. So I have stuff everywhere and nowhere, I guess. Oh, and usually I lay like a garbage bag down to work on. Oh, I forgot. I should put this down. But tonight I have a paper bag because we did a Tuesday talk about recycling bags and making gift bags. Well, now they're starting to give us ones that don't have handles. So, other than making, book bags, I started thinking about some things you can do with paper bags. So, obviously, this is one thing. I just kind of cut it open, and this is my work surface tonight, which is great because then I can just throw it away and not feel as guilty about throwing away a garbage bag. But then there's something I saw years ago from Aleene's Tacky Glue that you could use with a brown bag and glue and a candle and make it look kind of rusty. So I think I'm going to, or make it look like metal. So I think I'm going to experiment with that because you could use our patina paint on it. That's, I don't think I'll ever run out of ideas for things for Tuesday Talk for quick things. But one of the things I thought I could do with the earrings, I'm gonna bring it back up again. I feel like I need to look at you eye to eye. But one of the things I thought I could do with these is use our patina paint. And patina has metal in it, and it has a spray that you use on it, and it oxidizes and creates rust. So I thought that would be cool on this, and I think it might be also cool to do on the faux metal that I'm going to be working on. So I might do that next week. Another thing too, so I had, showed you the amazing casting resin. The same company, Alumilite, makes amazing mold putty. So I ordered some of that to play with because there's a lot of things that I want to make molds of. So I have a line of jewelry that I want to do called Frozen Charlotte. And I bought this one mold, and people sell these molds on Etsy. So this is the mold I bought on Etsy. And this is what happens when you pour the amazing casting resin. Well, I want to make a bunch of these. So I'm going to use this and put the amazing mold putty and make a couple of these so that when I make a pour, I won't be wasting my material and my time just waiting to do one at a time. So I'll be able to be a little more productive. So stay tuned for the Frozen Charlotte line of jewelry and accessories. I'm thinking maybe that might be more of a winter thing because I'm tired of freezing. Okay, so we did some earrings. We did the switch plate cover, and now that is drying. So the back of the rose, of course, is not wet. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it. I will put this down again. Okay, I'm just going to leave that where it is. And I think you can still see me over here. And I'm just going to lay this down here a second and see what my placement looks like. That works, I think. Let me see. It's kind of just fits. Okay, that'll work. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this glue because I don't want to have to wipe the excess off. Just trying to get it out to the outsides. And again, I should be probably using ventilation. Not using ventilation, but have ventilation. But this might explain a lot about me. Okay, got a little paint on there. And I might have to touch up this paint because obviously I just did it, so. Okay, not a whole lot of glue on there, but I don't want to use my fingers, but I want to move this glue around a little bit. Let's use one end of my stick. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, let that dry a little bit, and I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely with the theme on my phone, it'll look cool. So that'll be special. Well, I told you I wasn't going to keep you long tonight. So if I had my hot air gun tonight, I would go ahead and dry some of these off, because what I'd like to do is add a little something something to them. And so the switchblade cover's cool. It's still wet, but it needs a little something. It needs some detail, like some wax around the detail of the leaves, or around the outsides of them. And then I think that one will look pretty cool. And then, of course, my rose needs to dry, and I'm going to touch up some of the paint on it. And I really like that. I think it really looks pretty cool. And the earrings, I'm going to, of course, put the findings in them for you. And I will do a post tomorrow. Cut my head off here. I'll do a post tomorrow, and I'll show you the finished results. And I'm so glad you came and joined me this evening. And love you, sister. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good evening.